Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the It's Cringe But It's True podcast. I'm your host, Ellie Olivier, and today we are here with Emmy! So Emmy is my esthetician, actually, which is like so funny and random. But I found her a couple months ago, and she lifts and tints my eyelashes. If you guys haven't had that done before, it is an absolute game changer. So if you're from Utah County, you need to book with Emmy. What is like your thing so they can book with you?
Soul Kissed Wellness on Instagram. TikTok is just Emmy Dawn, but Soul Kissed Wellness is really on Instagram. It's the best.
I found her on Instagram and I was like, this girl seems so sick. And like, literally, it was a total yap therapy session when she like did my lashes both times. And I was like, I need to get this girl on the pod. So here she is. She's the freaking best. So tell us a little bit of like background of like who you are, where you're from, things like that.
Okay, love it. So I grew up in New Mexico until I was about 10, and then my family moved to Utah, and then pretty much been here ever since. I had a few side quests. I went on a LDS mission for my church in San Diego. Is the best thing ever.
That's fun.
And then came home, went to the Dominican Republic for a humanitarian trip. I taught English there, and then came home, decided to go to school finally. With two semesters of college, couldn't decide what I wanted to do. Always wanted to be an esthetician, and I was just too scared because it's so saturated in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
But I decided I loved it enough. I was gonna make it work, and so I went to school. It was the best thing ever, and now I have my dream job. I'm an esthetician.
What esthetician school did you go to?
I went to NEMA.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in South Jordan.
And where did you go to college? Those two.
I was at UVU.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Yes.
See, yeah, I think I love that too because college isn't for everyone. I'm kind of anti-college, low-key, even though I'm in it. But like, I love when someone like has a passion and they like decide to do that. Yeah. And you're so good at what you do too. So you also do a lot of skincare stuff too, right?
Yes. I've just always wanted to help people. Like that was my goal at the end of the day, and why I had such a hard time figuring out what I want to do in college. Because there are so many ways to help people, whether you're a nurse or whether you're like an interior designer. Like I feel like all jobs, you're like some kind of service to someone, but at the end of the day, I really just wanted to help people with their self-confidence and self-worth, because I think that is such a big part of like how you live your life. If you're not feeling confident in yourself or are having like mental struggles, it just really affects your day and how you're living. And so I wanted to be someone that someone's went to because they wanted to, not because they need therapy or they need to go to the hospital because they're sick, because they wanted to, and I could be that person for them. And I just love it. It's the most fulfilling job ever.
I bet it is. And skin issues can really take a hit at your confidence, right? Yes. So I love that like you've created a space where girls are wanting to come to you because, and also like navigating that and like helping them with their skincare journey and like growing from that. How has that been for you, like to watch girls and heal girls in that way?
It's like the most fulfilling thing. I think I've had acne my whole life, and that was one of my driving factors of becoming an esthetician as well, is wanting to learn that for myself, and then also having my own skin struggles and understanding how hard it is to, one, navigate how to heal it, and two, navigate like your self-worth and confidence. I just wanted to be, especially like with social media, everyone has different opinions. There's a million different products. Like I just wanted to be someone could go to and get answers and hopefully find healing, whether that's emotionally, just having a chat, like hearing that they're beautiful when you can't say it to yourself, or, you know, also just healing their skin and helping them that way too. It's just my favorite.
For sure. And that's what's so fun about going to Emmy too, is like you do both of those things. Like you're so fun to talk to, and like she made me just open up, or you allowed me to just open up. And I was like, oh, this is so fun. And also yeah, like helping girls feel beautiful. And what's hard about skin problems is it's not one size fits all. Right? There's so much on TikTok everywhere.
Yes.
I feel like that estheticians, it differs as well, right? I don't know.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So I feel like, how do you navigate like knowing what's best for someone's skin, or like how to kind of rebuild their confidence even?
Yeah, I think rebuilding confidence is like a long road, because I mean that's not something I can control for someone, but if I can maybe be a safe place and somewhere they feel comfortable to be themselves, hopefully that can just help and be a refreshing like place for them. I don't even remember what your other question was.
Me neither. They kind of didn't align. I was like, wait, that's like Didn't get together. Oh yeah, how do you navigate like knowing what to do for someone's skin?
Oh, yeah. As far as knowing what to do for someone's skin, there's so many factors. Stress, sleep, the products you're using, your pillowcase, laundry detergent. There's so many factors. Your skin is your biggest organ, and it's connected to your whole body, and so anything can affect your skin. So really just taking the client in, narrowing down what could be potential triggers, working things out one step at a time. It really does build a relationship with my clients because I'm trusting them, they're trusting me, we're working through this really hard thing together. And I think that's one of my favorite things too, is just like coming out on the other side of it and being so happy for them, but then also like we did that together and they're feeling better, they have tools that can help support themselves emotionally and, you know, physically with their skin for hopefully the rest of their lives. So I love that.
How was it for you, like, kind of branching away from the normal, traditional role of, like, going to college and doing your own thing? How did you navigate, like, people's opinions of you, or did you feel judged in any way?
Yeah, luckily, I mean, I feel like there's always, like, kind of that stigma in the air, but luckily my circle was always, like, very supportive, which I felt very thankful for. I think because people knew that I had wanted to do it for so long, once I finally did, they're like, finally, girl.
All the time.
Yeah, but for sure, like, when I was telling people, like, oh, I want to go to esthetician school, like, I don't know, I'm a blonde, you know, a Utah girl, like, classic. There's a million estheticians in Utah, and, like, I think that was maybe the hardest part, is feeling like, I'm just another one, you know? And something, like, I strive for is to, like, stand out in the way of, like, I just want everyone that comes in to feel safe and to feel... My name is Soul Kiss Wellness because soul means sun in Spanish, but it also, like, plays on the English word of soul. And so, like, the sun and just, like, that feeling of warmth and happiness and renewal, like, I always wanted people to feel that. And so that's kind of, like, where the name came from and where my brand stands. But anyways, that's always what I really strive for, is just for people to feel their best when they're with me. So.
I felt that. So, mission accomplished.
I hope so.
So, the other day, me and Emmy were chatting. We were talking a little bit about, like, marriage and navigating, like, self-love before getting into relationships. You've been married for how long now?
It's been, like, 2.5 years now.
Wow.
I know.
How old are you again?
I'm 24.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
youngin'.
So, tell me a little bit how you met Tanner. Let's go back a little bit into that.
Yes. So, I just connected... On my mission, I made a lot of friends, and when I came home, we just were all getting together one night. We're actually going to another podcaster, David Butler.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Yeah. He does, what is it called? Not seminary, but, like, institute.
Okay.
Institute classes, which is, like, church classes for adults that have graduated high school. And I just went with some of my mission friends, and he happened to be there. Met him there. Had the biggest crush on him, but was not confident to say anything, do anything. Anyways, we met, we hung out that night, and I had a crush on him for 6 months, but I didn't see him after that for like 6 months, so just
how did you reconnect with him?
So he actually ended up doing summer sales with one of my mission friends.
Okay.
And we had followed each other on Instagram. Like, I would like his stories here and there, but there was, like, no real communication. And I don't really know exactly what happened, but my mission friend told him to message me. And so he messaged me while he was doing summer sales. I was still in Utah, and we just started talking, never stopped. Here we are. Wow. So, yeah.
So what was it about Tanner that, like, you knew he was the one? Have you dated a lot in the past, a lot of other boyfriends?
Yeah.
What was different about Tanner?
Actually, he was my first boyfriend, like, ever.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So dating him it is so cute, but I was, like, I had a lot of questions, and I was nervous because I didn't have anything to compare it to.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is always, like, a bad thing. Like, if it's great,
it'd be
it's
better,
great,
yeah.
Right? But I think just something that stood out to me as soon as I met him was when I came home from my mission, and I don't know if a lot of people struggle with this, but you just come off from like having a direct purpose every day, helping people, like you feel so involved, it's great. It's like the best thing that you could do for yourself and for everyone. You are feeling that in that moment, and then you come home and suddenly you have no purpose, you have no schedule, like life has just been moving the last year and a half, and you think you could just come back to it, but everyone's been moving, so suddenly you feel like you're in the way, you're a burden. I didn't have like a path yet. I didn't know if I was going to college. I didn't know if I was doing esthetician school, and it just felt like I was just like why was I even home anyways? Like it just, I didn't feel like needed or anything. And so that was really hard. And when I met him that night, it's not like he had anything special exactly, but there was a lot of people there, and he made me feel seen and made me feel like known in a group of people in a gym full of like probably 1,000 other young adults. And like I said, there wasn't anything that he directly said, but he just had a conversation with me, and he just like made me feel important, made me feel seen. And I love that, and I wanted that, because that is just, in a world full of many people that have no like self-worth or value, people need that. Whether it's just like some random stranger that you talk to at a Disneyland line that just notices you, like I just thought that it was so special that he took time to talk to me when he really didn't need to. He had no obligation to. He could have said, "Hi, what's your name?" and that was done. But he didn't have any interest in me at that time. He was talking to other people. So anyways, I just thought that was special, and something that he has continued to, that I love about him, is that wherever we are, he's always going out of his way to make people feel like valued. So I love that.
That's so important. Good first impression. Literally love at first sight for you.
I'm like, frick. Which was mutual. 6 months later, it all worked out.
What do you feel like has changed in yourself now being married from your single independent years?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like maybe that's something important in a relationship, is that you shouldn't have to compromise yourself. Like, obviously, there's things that you're going to sacrifice because it's a relationship, but that doesn't have to be, like, personality or interest or likes or loves. Maybe that's just, like, some time doing this or that, because obviously you're balancing 2 schedules now and, like, building a life together. But as far as, like, me personally, I don't think I've had to compromise or change anything that way. I've grown in new ways that I'm so thankful for. He's taught me things and pushed me in ways that have made me better. And I think that's another thing when you're dating or looking for someone to marry. Like, can that person be that person for you that will keep you, like, going and keep you reaching your goals and, like, support you, and also, like, open up your, like, way of thinking and try new things and become better in ways that you weren't interested in, or things like that. I think that's really, like, special in a relationship, when instead of, like, compromising or sacrificing parts of you, you're just adding on to it because of them.
Totally. I love that. How long did you guys date before getting engaged?
Before we were engaged, we had dated, like, a little over a year. So
Okay.
it's like about, I think, 13 months when we were engaged.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good timing. How do you feel like I feel like in Utah, it's so like, 4 months? So when's the wedding? Like, 3 months? Okay, when do you get married? Like, do you feel like there was a lot of societal pressure on you guys to, like, hurry and get married?
Yes. I think people just get excited.
Yeah.
And it's not even like, you guys need to get married. Like, you know, it's just more of like, oh, they love each other. Like, let's do it. Like, we're excited, you know?
They're antsy.
And of course, like, once you are dating someone, like, you're excited for that too. But I think just trying not to compare and kind of have your blinders on, because of course I've had friends that are married with babies, and I have friends that are still single and dating. And I think just not comparing and just doing what's best for you and your relationship is, like, key. And honestly, comparing just in general in your life is just don't do it.
Yes. So detrimental. How do you feel like social media plays into, like, comparison in relationships?
Oh my gosh, so much. Yeah. Because you just see the highlights. And occasionally you'll see, like, some things they've worked through, but it's always, like, an after thing. Like, oh, like a few months ago we were going through this and we did this and now we're better and now we're stronger, and that's like amazing and I love that. But you just, I feel like you don't really see the thick of it in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, people are traveling Europe, or they're like financially independent, or like X, Y, and Z. There's so many things to compare yourself to, but you just have to be in your relationship and just working within your goals and like your love for each other. Comparison really is just like the thief of joy.
Mm-hmm.
And so just doing your best to be present with your partner is like my best advice for that.
Totally. I think it also just creates this like false sense of reality. Like
Oh, for
people,
sure.
like I feel like so many people in my life right now are getting engaged or married, and I'm like, oh, that's so fun. Like
Yeah.
I'm so happy for them.
Right.
But then it's also like, yeah, you're seeing their highlight reel, their prime time highlight reel of like their engagement, their wedding, their bridal shower, their bachelorette party, like the funnest moments.
Yes.
Not to say that it's all horrible behind the scenes, like hopefully it's not.
Right.
But like you are only seeing the best parts of a relationship. And I think it like seeing that, and just in general with anything on social media, you're seeing like someone's like best moment or best version of themselves. And I think in relationships that can cause us to feel like, oh, like they already like got into a house and they're like
Right.
younger than me, or like they're already having a kid, or like wow, like they're traveling with his family or traveling by themselves. Like there's just so much to compare.
It's kind of crazy that like in our life we can like watch, I guess, like thinking of like great, even like my great grandpa, pioneers, whatever, they like saw less people than I do like on a 30-minute scroll session on my phone their whole life.
Wow, yeah.
It's just crazy that we are like comparing our lives to so many people around us. And to an extent, like that's fine. Like there's always like some self-growth that can happen and like goals that maybe you want to reach, but as long as you're not like making that determine how you feel about yourself and your relationships, like these are strangers. Like why do we let strangers' opinions, lives, whatever, like determine how we feel about ourselves? And like the most important things in our lives, like our self-worth and our relationships and just our joy for life in general, like these are strangers. Like we don't need to let them control our feelings,
Totally.
which is hard. But
And it's so hard on everyone's mental too, because you just see that, and like, I don't know, I feel like it can cause, like, comparison is just so detrimental to your mental health as well, right?
absolutely, yeah.
How do you feel like your mental health has changed, or have you navigated that throughout your life and then into like getting married and how that impacted it?
Yeah, mental health has always been something I've struggled with in my adult years. Like OCD, ADHD, like anxiety, depression, like it's all been there, all has its moments. And I think like self-worth, self-love is really like the key to combating that, because I think social media is a big part of it, and just how we compare and how we like chase this beauty standard or this life standard that completely just doesn't exist. We just made it up somehow. And I just think loving yourself, realizing that someone else's opinion has nothing to do with your self-worth, your self-value, makes all the difference. And I mean, I'm like a chronic people pleaser
Oh, yep.
to the max. But something my therapist said to me once was like, trying to control how someone perceives you, how someone reacts, how someone feels is a form of manipulation. And when she said that to me, I was like, the people pleaser in me was like shocked. I was like, a manipulator? Never. And so I think just realizing we have like no control over how people perceive us and their opinions, and I won't lie and say that I don't care what people think, because I do. It's human nature. And like, obviously be a good person.
Don't be, there's a line.
Yes, there's a line. But these like standards that are made up, or the things we're comparing to that aren't realistic, does not mean you're behind in any way, or in the wrong spot, or not worthy, or not good enough.
Yeah. And I think a lot of like anxiety can be caused with like always, I mean, we all always are going to care what people think. But I feel like once you kind of learn and there's no like recipe to know exactly how to learn that, which sucks. I wish we could share that with the world, but it's like you just have to kind of figure it out when you figure it out. But like once you realize you can't control how you're being perceived, you can't control what anybody thinks of you, only like what you think of yourself. Right. And I think a lot of overthinking can come into that too, like, oh, is this person thinking this about me? Or like, you know, with posting on social media, like, oh, are people judging me for this? And like once you realize, like, you know what, like literally Mel Robbins, let them theory, like let them, and just live your life. And like that I feel like is such a freeing feeling too, to be like, you know what, like this is me, this is my life, and if you want to judge it, you can.
Yes.
But that's not going to change who I am or what I'm doing.
Yeah, and I think like that mindset too when you're dating is so important, because if you are not confident and you go into dating and maybe you really like this person and you're just like will do anything to have them like you back, you start changing, you start compromising, you start sacrificing, you start settling, that's just not okay. And so that's why it's so important that you are self-confident when you're dating, going into a relationship, because also like maybe you get broken up with and you feel like a failure and you just don't want to try again, or maybe you do, and because you felt like a failure last time, you'll just change yourself to be with that person. But I just think once you're confident, self-confident, have that self-worth, have that self-love, like you're not gonna do that, and then you will have like a relationship that's going to last, because it's not just one-sided and you're actually being real. And I think that's very important too.
For sure. And I think it's very common and like almost natural sometimes to just be like, okay, I'm gonna kind of form into who this person wants me to be exactly, right? It's like, okay, like, or I got rejected, so now you're scared, and you're like, oh no, like, okay, I'm gonna be who this person wants me to be. And I think once you learn, like, by doing that, you're like shrinking yourself or changing yourself so that the person who's actually looking for you, like your personality, who wants you, is gonna miss you, because you're like trying to change yourself to please people. So I feel like that is so important. I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yeah, and you can get stuck in like a love that maybe you don't deserve or isn't right for you because you change yourself for someone else. But really, someone's ready for you. You just gotta realize that it's just an open door. It's nothing personal sometimes. It's just like another opportunity.
And when you like really do truly love yourself, which is, again, it's hard to quantify really, but when you do feel like you have self-confidence, self-worth, you know who you are, and you love who you are. Of course, we all have insecurities and things we don't love about ourselves, right? Like, but that's like once that shift happens in anyone's life, I feel like you just start attracting so much better like friends, romantic partners, just everything into your life, because people can sense that and people pick up on that. And it's like also like a magnetic energy, like people want to be around someone who's like that, you know?
Absolutely, yes. The energy thing is so real,
So kind of back to like mental health in your relationship, how do you feel like you navigate like communicating your feelings or opening up about like struggles or your mental health with being in a relationship and a marriage?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think mental health came up really early in our relationship because it has been something that I've struggled with, specifically like relationship OCD and anxiety. And so that was something we worked through the very beginning, and honestly something that was important to me. Like, if you struggle mentally, then having an emotional, mature partner is important. And that was really important to me. Not even that he could be my therapist, but just that he would be there to understand and just like comfort and listen, and not just kind of blow me off and not understand how to like regulate what I was going through. And so that's kind of something we worked through while we were dating, and which was so important, because that can be really overwhelming for someone that has never experienced any kind of mental health situations before. The person that is struggling has so many heightened emotions, and their brain is so chemically charged that things can seem really dramatic. And especially like women often have, the stereotype of maybe being a little bit more dramatic than men at times.
Definitely.
And so I just think like if that is something you're struggling, definitely discussing that during dating. Maybe you're not actively struggling, but just letting that partner know. Maybe setting up expectations of what you need in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Some people do need to talk it out. Some people just need to like have someone holding them and just listening. Some people need a fixer. Some people need like a listener, and maybe that like is gonna change with every situation. But I think just actively communicating during maybe that like mental period. I don't know what the right word is for that.
Mental situation era.
Mental situation is important, just so needs are getting met from both sides.
And communication is like the number one most important thing in a relationship. And especially like while you're in the early stages of dating or wherever you're at in your relationship, just being able to be like, hey, like I'm struggling with this.
Yeah.
I'm not giving it like as an excuse for me to like check out or be a certain way in a relationship, but just like it's almost like just letting them know like, hey, if I'm struggling right now, like this is why, or
Right.
this is like my history with mental health or situation in my family or whatever, right? Like it just even like not even like like in platonic friendships or, you know, like situations, not just like romantically, but just being like, hey, like I'm struggling right now, and like you're right, everyone needs something different, right? Like some people, or sometimes you might need someone to just listen.
Yes.
Don't want to fix it or make it all better. And I feel like I want to hear your thoughts on this too. I feel like as like men are very like, I gotta fix it, like I'm the protector, provider, like, and sometimes it's like, no, like babe, just listen.
Yeah.
Just like listen to me, you know? Like, do you feel like that's kind of how it is with most men? We're generalizing here.
Yeah.
Most men is like
Love you
crazy.
guys.
Love you guys, but you gotta figure it out. Just kidding.
I think they want to be the protector,
Mhm.
and I don't even think like sometimes it's like this macho man thing. They just like they love you and they want to protect you, and maybe that's all they know how to. And so sometimes it really is just communication. You just have to, and as women, we're the worst at this. We just want them to know how to act and what to say. And
Yes.
I'm completely guilty for that. Like, absolutely. We just want, but we like forget our brains we're just so chemically different that they do not like think that way, and it's not their fault if we don't communicate that. And so anyways, yeah, for sure, the communication thing, just what you need in the moment, and like being brave enough to like speak up. I mean, maybe brave isn't the right word, but just like just communicate how you feel. Like there's lots of times where the people pleaser in me is just like, well, this would be better for them, so like let's just do that. And so that's how it goes. But when you're like mentally struggling, like you have to stand up for yourself, because they're like the person that's closest with you, and so they need to know, like you guys need to be on the same page so that, you know, they can have their needs met and yours can too. So it's not like a constant like, well, this person doesn't really struggle mentally, but this person does, so the whole marriage is kind of based around this person and protecting them. Like, that's not really healthy either.
Yeah.
There needs to be a balance, and so that's where communication comes in.
For sure. And yeah, I think just instinctively in a relationship dynamic, most of the time it's like the man wants to be like, okay, like I want to make it better for you.
Yes.
Right? And I think when we are struggling with mental health, just communicating that, and like, you know, I think in dating, this goes to like looking for someone, if you know you struggle with mental health or just, you know, with certain things in your life, just looking for those guys that like possess those qualities that are like nurturing and caring, and he's going to listen, and, you know, he's emotionally available, right?
Yes.
Because I'm sure we've all dated or talked to a unemotionally available man in our days. I definitely have. And I think like if you get to know yourself better too, and like what you need in a relationship. I mean, I don't think anyone needs an emotionally available man. We all deserve that and need that.
Yes.
But like if you know you specifically struggle with something mentally, I think that's like super important to look for.
Right.
You were saying you struggled with like relationship OCD. Tell me, like, if it's not too deep to ask that, how that shows up in your relationship and how you guys navigate that.
Yeah, I think it just like came from the people pleaser in me, and also him being my first boyfriend. But it's honestly gotten so much better. That was like a very big like kind of dating early marriage situation where maybe I didn't feel like I was good enough for him if we were compatible enough, just because, the self-sabotage we put ourselves through. And honestly, it is so much better, but that took so much communication and so many hard conversations where I had to open up and say things that inside, like, I knew were, like, dramatic, but that's how I was feeling.
Yeah.
And I just had to trust that him hearing that, he wouldn't be like, this girl's literally crazy. He would be, like, soft enough and kind enough to be like, okay, she's obviously not doing the best right now. Like, let's navigate this together. And, yeah, now, like, obviously there's still, like, hard, like, we have to, I still have OCD. I still have all these things. Like, there's still triggers and things that come up. But because I know he's safe and I can communicate with him, those things, like, it's never as heightened as it once was because I know that it's going to be okay.
And you've worked through it. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think, like, back to the male brain, I guess, but they really do kind of see things more black and white just biologically.
Absolutely.
And women, we kind of can see more of the nuance in things and, like, the gray area. So I think, like, sometimes, like, when you're communicating, like, I feel like we can feel dramatic, like, it's like, oh, like, they don't understand what I'm even saying, like, why am I saying this, like, the people pleaser is like, oh, like, what am I, I'm so dramatic, am I crazy, but, like, I think a really attractive quality in a guy is, like, them just trying to understand. You don't have to understand, because, mental health is so specific to each individual person, and not everyone's going to understand, but, like, having a guy that's wanting to hear you out and try to understand and help you navigate it in the best way that he can is so important. And I'm so glad that Tanner has been able to do that for you. And and, like, not to say it's gonna, like, marriage is hard, right? Like, it's not butterflies and rainbows all the time. Like, it's gonna be hard. There's gonna be conflict. And I think, again, like, going back to the comparison with social media, it's like, oh my gosh, they're so happy, like, they're in Bali together, like, but it's like, no, like, you don't see the behind the scenes, right? And I think we've all kind of gotten not a bad view of marriage, but, like, our expectations are way, not too high, but, like, too, like, oh, everything's gonna be perfect and we're never supposed to fight. Like, you're gonna fight in a marriage, you're gonna argue, you're gonna disagree on things, not even, like, you're not gonna, like, hopefully physically fight or, like, verbally attack each other, but, like, you're gonna disagree. How do you feel like you guys have learned to, like, handle conflict in your relationship?
Yeah, I think it just still goes back to communication, and we know each other well enough now that, like, we kind of know, like, he knows when I'm ready to talk about something, and I know when he needs a second, or if I need a second, and then we can come in and, like, talk to each other. We are really lucky, and we haven't been married that long, that nothing really comes up too much, but like you said, there are, like, different opinions and disagreement on things, but I think being curious, and that goes into, like, dating too, like, sometimes people have, like, a hard opinion, or maybe they really dislike something, and that can be, like, a red flag or, like, a ick, but I think being curious is, like, where connection really forms, because, like, maybe you love boating and you're dating someone and they hate it, and you're like, okay, ick, red flag. Like, no, that's not really a red flag, but, like, something that maybe that's important to you.
Incompatibility,
Right, exactly. And then maybe instead of just, like, totally turning things off, if, like, maybe you really had a genuine connection, but that was, like, a one thing that you're like, oh, wait, what, You can turn that into curiosity, which can make connection, like, maybe he was in a boating accident, or maybe he had someone he loved, like, have a drowning water accident. Like, you just don't know. But once you do know, like, you can take that information and make a connection out of it and grow and relate and, like, form a love that is deeper than just, like, compatibility or chemistry. Like, that's when, like, true love starts to form, is when you're curious and when you're trying to, like, work through things that aren't comfortable.
For sure. I love the word curious. That's, like, the perfect word for it too, because it's, like, I think a lot of the time it's, like, judgment is, like, the initial thought, or, like, like, oh, that's an ick, or, like, oh, like, we're just not good together or whatever. But it's like, okay, and even, like, if someone has a differing opinion of you, like, in a relationship or something, it's like, instead of being like, no, you're wrong, I'm right, like, it's like, okay, let me try to understand and, like, see where you're coming from.
Exactly.
And just be curious about why they feel that way, because I think you said this earlier too, like everyone, you're valid in your own opinion, you know what I mean? Like you're entitled to whatever you're feeling, like whether it's with mental health or like something, even if you feel like quote unquote crazy, like you're valid for feeling that way and they're valid for having an opinion. So I think
Yeah.
it also, I mean, I'm obviously not married, so I don't know how much to comment on, but like I feel like it comes with knowing like your partner, and like you said, like you and Tanner know each other so well. It's like, yeah, like you've been married for 2.5 years.
Yeah, 2.5 years.
Yeah, it's like you obviously, and like with like all of our parents that have been married for forever, grandparents, like you do learn, like this becomes like your person, like your emergency contact, everything. Like this is like, you know, this, the ins and outs of this person, you know how to push each other's buttons.
Yes.
Right, and like, but yeah, just like knowing like what that person needs and like how that person works and like how you handle conflict or navigate that, hopefully in a healthy way, not trying to say like you're gonna verbally attack each other, like no, that's not okay.
Yes,
but you know what I'm
boundaries
saying, like
and-
I feel like when people say like fight, I'm like, oh, like fight's a bad, which yes, don't like fight, but like
Yes.
you're gonna bicker, right? You're probably
right,
gonna
right.
like disagree,
Right.
you know.
And dating, honestly, I think that's important too. Like, yeah, maybe you don't need like you definitely don't need to be in a toxic relationship or fight a lot. But like, I think dating and having like disagreements or maybe different opinions is important because you can see how you work that out. If they're open-minded, if they're just stubborn, if they're willing to like look at it through a different lens. Because if they're not, and that's important to you, then that's something you should know, which is another reason why you need to be confident in yourself. Because if you're constantly changing your opinions and your views for someone else, that is just sounds like a terrible way to live your life. Like you're not living for yourself anymore. And like you got to live your life for you, you know? It's just amazing that you can have a partner to bring in and like make it that much better.
For sure. I kind of asked this at the beginning, but how do you feel like you know you found your person or you found like the right guy for you?
Yeah, I feel like one, if you're not feeling like you have to compromise who you are for them, like they're just adding to your life, not like taking away or changing in like ways that is changing who you are, that's like a great sign that you're compatible and that like he's going to support you, they're going to support you throughout life. Also, just like whenever I get home, like I'm like rushing home to get home to Tanner every day because he's like my battery. Like as soon as like he gives me a hug, like I instantly, like I could cry. I instantly feel like so much better, like so much safe. Like all the noise in my head is just like quiet. Like if you can find someone that like is your battery, your safe place, like makes you feel your best no matter what. And that's just not like physically, that's like emotionally, like someone that can help you reach your goals. We already talked about this, someone that's like not going to be like lazy in the way that like obviously he's going to take care of you, but in the way that's going to push you to become something more like together. If that's what you're wanting, you know, that's something I was wanting. And I think we get stuck with like red and green flags a lot, and there's a scale. Like obviously you want to be in a safe, like healthy relationship, but like a lot of things become superficial when we're dating. And I think you're ready for marriage when you're not stuck on the superficial things anymore. This is like deeper, like I'm literally going to be pregnant, have a kid with, like if that's what you want to do, like I'm going to see my parents die with this person, potentially your kids, like you're going to have financial issues with this person. Is that your person that you want to do those things with, that you're actively going to choose every day when they're in their worst, when you're on their worst, when they're sick, when you're sick? Like once you're willing to be with that person during the hardest parts of your life in hard situations, and you'd still choose them every time, I feel like that's when you know you like found your person. So
that was beautiful. Wow, I love that. So good.
Shout out to Tanner.
Shout out Tanner, we love you. Okay, do you have any like last pieces of advice that you want to share for anyone, whether it's struggling with confidence, skin, self-love, relationships?
I think honestly just positive self-talk is the most important. Whatever you're putting out into the universe, it's going to give back to you. Whatever you're telling yourself, your body listens. Whatever you're manifesting is going to happen for you. And just don't compromise. Just keep shooting for that, because like I said, it's not always personal when opportunities or doors close. It's just a new opportunity. It's just a new chapter, and that's so exciting. So it's all about like mindset, all about point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, let's not have toxic positivity, but there's always room for, but what if in a good way. So just be positive.
Amen. Love it. Emmy, I love you. Thanks so much for coming on. You're the freaking best. And yeah, if you guys want to go to her, get your skin done, she does microneedling, what's it called?
Yes, all the micros.
All the micros, the eyelashes, the brows, everything. She's the best. I'll link her in the show notes. But thanks so much for coming on, Emmy. I love you so much.
I love you.
And we'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.